Tommy John breakdown. And congratulations, New York Knicks. The drought is over. The 53-year drought that the New York fans have had to endure is over. Jalen Brunson and company delivered a championship to the New York Knicks last night on the home court of the San Antonio Spurs. They did it in 4. Well, technically 5. Had they not lost the first game, had they not lost, game 3, because of a certain someone being there, I think they would have had it in 4, but they had got it in 5. I think San Antonio is a very young team. I think San Antonio will be winning championships in their young future if Wembanyama can get some help. I don't think, you saw that Fox played horrible. Castle played horrible. Really, what really propelled the Spurs to doing well was Wembanyama and Harper. But we'll see what happens. It's now the off season for the NBA. Today, there's parades happening in New York City. I know my good friend All-Star Gio is celebrating. He's probably smoking a cigar, sipping some champagne, and being like, "Woo! The New York Knicks have finally won a championships." And shout out to X. I'm always cursed. Okay, I'm always cursed, but I'm sorry you're not Danhausen. So until you get Danhausen to actually curse me, I'm always cursed. Plus, I'm Irish. I live with curses. I eat curses for breakfast. But I don't think my Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win a championship anytime soon. I also don't think my home team, the Washington Wizards, are going to win a championship anytime soon, even though Davis is there. But I don't expect Davis to be there for too much longer, actually. Oh, that looks good. Oh, man, I got some kielbasa here. Monterey Jack, cheddar cheese kielbasa. Oh, it smells absolutely divine. Yeah, you have. Well, Brian, this is why the NBA should hire you, because you know how the NBA works inside and out. So now, Brian, let me ask you, who do you think is going to win next year's NBA championship? Do you think the Knicks will go back-to-back, or do you think San Antonio finally gets over the hump, or do you think it's going to be someone new that we haven't seen? Would it be the Washington Wizards finally get over the hump? Or will Steph Curry get one more ring? Will LeBron get one more ring? Part of me wishes that LeBron James would just retire already. Because, look, yes, he can still play, but let's be honest, he's not going to win a championship there in L.A. because they're going to focus on building around Doncic. LeBron still wants the maximum contract, and L.A. doesn't have the money to, give him what he wants. And what's up, Captain Mad Martin? Glad to have you glad to have you on, Captain. Glad to have Shadow Knight X here. Glad to have Primetime Finest Wine Sean Sanders here. And glad to have 14 people here on the live stream. Yeah, I'm digging it. Well, they already got the number 1 overall draft. We'll see if they actually get that right out. Ooh, that's hot. Monterey Jack cheese sausage with chicken and apple on the inside. Oh, man, that is divine. But I'm getting ready to go to work here in a little over an hour. Let's see if I can just cut this. There we go. Try not to cut myself while I'm bouncing a phone. My son's watching Gecko's Garage. He's eating his breakfast. Cheers, everybody. A lot of people are thinking that LeBron could join Wembanyama in San Antonio. And this is what I'm currently eating. I'm currently eating chicken sausage, chipotle monitor jack cheese. What's up, Jesse Jackamer? Glad to have you on. Now, JBCW will be happening. I don't know whether it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Because depending on weather, I don't know what we're going to be doing because I'm on a 3-day vacation. So, I just hope Gio wasn't one of the 63 people who got arrested for partying. I'm going to try. Because, so, the holiday is this Friday, June 19th. And so, the way the schedule worked out, I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. I worked Thursday, then I am off Friday, then I work the rest of the week next week. So, but all the 5 boroughs have got to be happy, from Brooklyn to Central Park to downtown Manhattan. And you see, the Knicks did it without LeBron James. They didn't need a superstar like LeBron James. They had Jalen motherfucking Brunson. And they had OG. I'm going to try. All right. I got to stop eating while I'm talking. I'm going to put these in the fridge. Take them to work with me. But hope you all are doing well wherever it is that you are. All right. Here's my pasta. But I go to work at 1. All right. Now let's go ahead and just set this on top. Smush that bit down. There we go. All right. I got to work out in this heat today. It was 96 degrees yesterday. And I was in the cooler most of the day. But I think the Hurricanes are going to beat Las Vegas. I haven't really been keeping up much with the Stanley Cup Finals. Hoping that Carolina can get the job done. I'm going to try and do more Far Cry 6 tonight. Right now, I'm just spending time with my son watching Gecko's Garage. This is actually a cute show if you guys haven't watched it. He's learning his colors and stuff like that. Also, don't forget, Ringside Pass in July. The Hardys and Lita make their return to W2K26. Is it sad the fact that a match that happened in Mexico gave WWE its first 5-star rating from Uncle Dave. Dave Meltzer's like, hold on. Oh, let's not get a copyright. Gotta move over. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have been previewing college football's 2026 preview, and the top 10 have kind of annoyed me just a little bit. They have Indiana number 1, they have Ohio State number 2, they have Georgia number 3, Texas number 4, Notre Dame number 5, Oregon number 6, Miami number 7, Ole Miss number 8, Oklahoma number 9, and number 10, USC. The Hardy Ring Pass is in July. It's in July. Next month. I don't agree with a couple teams being in the top 10. I don't agree with Miami, Oklahoma, and Texas being in the top 10. Because here's why. So Archie Manning didn't look that great last year in his first year as captain of the ship. He looked absolutely horrible. Now, did he have some brief glimpses? Yes. But Texas, I don't think Texas is going to have another great season with him in it, because people are figuring out if they get a 4-man rush against Arch is going to scramble and he's going to make mistakes. Now, against Miami doesn't have Carson Beck no more. Yes, they have reloaded, but I think that Miami is going to be suspect because of who they got to play in the ACC. Because Miami didn't even win their conference last year. It was Duke. And Duke is returning a lot of that team. So is UVA. Tech's going to be absolutely better. What? You want me to get your drink for you? Okay, hold on, guys. I gotta get my son his drink. Hold on. Yes, I think you pooped. Mistress, let me check your diaper real quick. I think you pooped. Nope. Okay. You farted. That's what that was. Where's that thing at? Hold on, Mash. Let me put Let me You lost it? Yeah, I gotta get ready to. Yep. You know, and like Oklahoma, I don't know if Oklahoma can, like, let me read you guys what they said about Oklahoma. All right, where's that? Let's see here. All right, the SEC. There we go. All right. Okay. So let me read you Texas's schedule real quick. So Texas's 2026 schedule is Texas Tech, Ohio State, UTSA, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Florida, Ole Miss, Mississippi, Missouri, LSU, Arkansas, and then Texas A&M. Like, that is a hell of a schedule to try and go undefeated in. I'm sorry. I just don't see it happening. I just don't know. I don't know. And now, so John Mateer is back for Oklahoma. And Brett Venables' overall record at Oklahoma as of this moment is 32 wins and 20 losses. Their schedule, Oklahoma opens up the SEC schedule facing UTEP, then Michigan, New Mexico, Georgia, Texas, Kentucky, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Florida, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and then Missouri. I think what could derail Oklahoma to begin with is that second game at home. That second game at Michigan. They're going to be Big House. And then they face, if they beat Michigan, then they have a trap game against New Mexico, Georgia, and then Texas. So now Texas A&M could surprise everyone because last year they went 11-0 in Mike Elko's second year at the helm of College Station. They got beat by Miami 10-3 in the college football playoff debut. And A&M's schedule isn't any easier. They begin at Missouri State, Arizona State, Kentucky, LSU, Arkansas, Missouri, the Citadel, then at Alabama on October 24th, at South Carolina November 7th, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and Texas. The back end of the Aggies' schedule is something that could deter them from winning a national championship or even making the college football playoffs. Mike Elko's record so far at A&M is 19-7. That's a hell of a record to have. And then my Alabama Crimson Tide, they're not even in the top 10 according to this publication. Alabama hasn't won a national title since 2020, the program's longest drought since the 16-year gap between Coach Stallings' 1992 title and Nick Saban's first championship in his third season at Alabama in 2009. Now, we just extended DeBoer. I don't believe that we should have extended Coach DeBoer. We should have let him pay out his contract. Look, if he wanted to go elsewhere, by all means. If he can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. And Alabama's projected starting, according to this publication, the starting quarterback's going to be Austin Mack. Then Daniel Hill's going to be the starting running back. Ryan Coleman Williams, a.k.a. Ryan Williams, is going to be the second wide receiver. Number one wide receiver is going to be Noah Rogers. The third is going to be Lothar Brooks, who had a breakout season last year for the Crimson Tide. And our schedule begins on September 5th at East Carolina. Then we go to Kentucky. Then we go to Florida State, why are we going back to Florida State? Florida State wrecked us last year. And then we have South Carolina, Mississippi State, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, LSU, Vanderbilt, Chattanooga, and then Auburn. Now, the game that scares me for this schedule is South Carolina. And you're like, John, what about Mississippi State, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, LSU? Look, no one played us as hard as the Gamecocks of South Carolina. South Carolina absolutely has a ferocious defense, and they will destroy this young Alabama offensive line if they get a chance. And if you remember last year's game, we barely won. So I think for the first time in his coaching tenure, DeBoer gets 7 wins. I say Alabama gets 7 wins, and we show Coach DeBoer the door. And what's up, Wally? Glad to have you on. I just don't think Kalen DeBoer is the right coach for this team. I have said it before. I don't think he has the grit. I don't think he has the cojones to really, because if you watch all those practices that Saban had, Saban was fiery. He really got after his players, but he also coached with kindness. So we will see what all happens. But I think Coach DeBoer gets 7 wins this year. I don't think Alabama makes the college football playoff. I hope they prove me wrong. I would love for them to win the championship this year. Who would you like to see coach Bama, John? Myself? Maybe. So this is probably going to piss a lot of people off, but I would like to see Dabo Swinney, either Dabo Swinney or Kirby Smart coach Bama. Now, I know what you're saying. Kirby Smart, he's at his alma mater at Georgia. He's already won 2 national championships there at Georgia. But he's the only coach that I think is still Nick Saban-esque, that's still around. And Dabo Swinney's old school too. But Dabo graduated from Bama. He played for Mike Shula. Part of me also wouldn't mind seeing, A.J. McCarron become the head coach of Alabama. He's down there coaching the Birmingham Stallions in the UFL. And I think McCarron's done a decent job at it. And, I think McCarron understands the pressures of being an Alabama coach and player, having been a player there and having won a national championship. I also think that maybe if Lane Kiffin hadn't went to LSU, I would say Lane Kiffin. But what's up, EBS Loves Gaming? And yes, Danhausen did have something to do with the Knicks. He uncursed them. He uncursed them, So now LSU's schedule. Listen to this, Prime. LSU's schedule is Clemson, Louisiana Tech, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, McNeese, which is a D1 school, a very tiny school, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Auburn, Alabama, Texas, Tennessee, and Arkansas. And they got the transfer quarterback from Arizona State, Sam Levitt, going to be the starting quarterback. And we will see if Lane Kiffin can finally win a national championship on his own. I also wouldn't mind seeing Coach Prime leave, but I don't think. Here's my problem with Coach Prime. He's only won with his sons. I think he needs to go to the NFL and coach his son. Because, yes, he won at Jackson State, but if you look at his track record, he hasn't really been able to win and recruit well. And let's be honest, at Colorado, there isn't a lot of pressure. So, but, we shall see. I also wouldn't mind Shane Beamer coaching at Alabama because Shane Beamer, he's an excellent coach. Very excellent coach. And according to college football, the Sporting News College Football 2026 preview, their Heisman favorite to win it all this year, to win the Heisman Trophy, is Notre Dame starting quarterback C.J. Carr, who is the grandson of Lloyd Carr,
who was the legendary coach at Michigan. So we shall see if that indeed happens. So, and by the way, guys, click like and sub to EBS Loves Gaming. Click like and sub to Primetime Sean Sanders. Also, click like and sub to Shadow Knight X. Click like and sub to Captain Mad Martin. Check out his live streams as well. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go sign off here. I will be back later on tonight. Also, click like and sub to Miyoto1. Check out his Final Fantasy Let's Plays on Twitch and on YouTube. And I will see you guys same breakdown time, same breakdown place. Goodbye, everybody.